Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30.
She's as funny as Lucy and she's in the know. She's as smart as Phil and always on the go. It's the Patsy Hoolahan Show.
They made $1 trillion with Biden, $1 trillion, even $1.1 trillion with Biden selling us stuff. Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know. And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need.
Attention, you were at your cabinet meeting. You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30.
Yeah.
And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up?
No, I think the tariffs are going to be great for us because it's going to make us rich.
But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up?
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4 because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable.
Almost 30 years of collecting and making dolls later, Marilyn's New York home is filled with around 500 dolls of all kinds, including Ellie, a full-size sex doll she recently rescued.
All right, you boys, let's try to be a little bit professional. I'm trying to do a serious show here.
And despite the already huge number, there's always room for a new arrival.
One of my newest favorites is this baby here. She's a reborn baby that I made, and her name is Davina Star. I hand-rooted her hair with my son's hair. Usually we use mohair, which is goat hair for the babies, or you can use human hair. I chose to use my son's hair, so she has the family DNA as well. Yeah, I think the kids do think of some of the babies as, you know, their little brother or sister, you know. Especially if I make a new one, like Davina here, I say, oh, this is your new baby sister. And go up.
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4 because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable. We had a trade deficit of hundreds of billions of dollars with China.
I don't necessarily feel that the dolls take over the home. After all, this was the dollhouse, and what would the dollhouse be without dolls?
But you're basically saying there could be some supply shortages because of the tariff.
We don't have to waste money on a trade deficit with China for things we don't need, for junk that we don't need.
Judy.
Yes, Ralph?
These dolls. They're alive, aren't they?
Sure they are. Ralph, stop! You're making them angry, Ralph!
Oh, I'm offending the toys? Excuse me!
The girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4. I'm just saying they don't need to have $30. They can have $3. They don't need to have 250.
Just ring that bell. It's such a good sensation, and you will always know when we have a new show. Just come around and look and see. Just ring that bell and get your notification. Just ring that bell. It's such a good sensation.